We're going to run your pipe test today on a GSL 30-400, and it's got a 10 horsepower motor on the system. This is what the rotor looks like. It's a slow speed unit, but with a lot of strength, so it should cut right through these pipes that you sent us. And what I'm doing right now is we're going to do a 4mm screen for you, and then after I do the 4, I'll do a 6mm screen for the unit. The unit comes with a control panel, which is right on the front, and then we also have a discharge on this unit. And we could either sell it with the discharge or without the discharge. It all depends on your needs. So I'm just going to run half of this with the 4mm screen, and then I'll run the other half with the 6mm screen. And these shouldn't be that big of a problem. These guys they got some pretty good size to them, and we'll just see how she cuts through it. To turn this machine on is very simple. One, just turn on the blower. The second, turn on the generator. Now she's going. I'll start loading the parts up and just drop them in. This unit you can drop in the front. You lift up the top, drop them in, and for longer pipes, we can actually take them and drop them this way into the system, which is actually the most efficient way to do it. I'll give an example. I'll take a white pipe here. Drop it right in. It's not having a problem with these parts. This back shoe, with the material you sent, I just want to show you a little difference on it. These run without any problem. The size, and what we do is we try to run one of these full sticks. This is the bigger stuff, and it's just too much for the machine to take. It grabbed it, got halfway through it, and then basically it jammed up the machine. So what we did was we took this, cut it into basically 8-inch types of parts, and then we're going to run them with the 8-inch pipe, and you'll see it'll take these without any issues. This is just too much given the thickness of it to get it through. It's just not enough power. We can get the machine with more power on it, but it'll be a bigger machine. But this one, if we just cut the pieces, we can make it work without any issues on it. This, when you run it, sometimes it's going to take it, no problem at all, won't bother with it, and then other times it's going to jam up. So what we did is we decided to just cut them, and that avoids the jam. And these, we just run them. They're no problem at all. They just fit in there real simple. Well, I've turned back on the granulator. I'm just going to run this through. It took that without any problem. If I would stick this whole piece in there, she would jam up. I'll run another one for you. Same thing. It's got to be able to move around and bounce so she doesn't jam. That's one of the keys. What I wanted to show you was actually I was able to jam the machine. And this is what it looks like. Here's that part. The whole knife comes down upon her at one hit, and it just doesn't have the strength to get through it. If we cut these things into 4-inch, she'd get through, but at 8-inch like this, it's just too much material, too thick of material for it to actually break through on the unit. But it does a nice job reducing it. I'll show you some of the results we have already over here. So I'm going to do is I'm going to bag up the results we have here. I'm going to send it to you, and then we can talk more about next steps on this. But this pipe no issue. The white pipe, no issue. It's just this larger, thicker pipe. It is an issue, and you need a bigger and stronger unit to get through that. We've completed most of the tests, and we're coming to the conclusion that I tried running it with the part cut in half like this, but it's just this part here is just too big and thick for this unit here. It's a 10 horsepower unit. You probably need a 15 horsepower unit to handle it, but what it does is it bounces around, and then she'll just grab it all at once, and it can't get through that thickness. When you have this size, it's no problem getting through this. It just cuts right through it. But this bigger piece, if it grabs it just straight on like that, she'll just jam up the unit on it. So a little difficult to do that. When people have parts like this, what they use is actually a different machine. I'll show you the machine. It's actually right here. Excuse me there, Paul. And what this is there's a shredder on the top which shreds it, then it goes to a granulator down here. And this could take much thicker pipe than that. So what they do is they just drop the part in here, comes in, goes down, comes out the granulator side of the unit. So when you have pipe that long and that thick, you're gonna need what we call a ZCS 600 unit, which has the shredder on top, which would shred that piece down, then put it through a granulator, size reduce it, and then through a blower system. But taking that part straight through this unit here, it's just not enough horsepower to handle the part.